Please stand and welcome Governor McAuliffe.
Thank you, Paul. Great, thank you. Thank you, everybody. Good morning. Sit down. What a great day. I want to thank Dominion Energy. This is a gigantic announcement. Let me first say, it's great to be with you, Mayor, the greatest city in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Let's hear it for Portsmouth. And the other two greatest mayors that we've ever had in the history of Virginia, I want to thank Mayor Tuck. Actually, he and I were together in Hampton the other day. We kicked off the summer feeding program, Dorothy and I, to make sure we're feeding all the children, because when they finish up school year, a lot of them don't have access to a healthy meal at the summer. We kicked that, and the mayor and I actually challenged 6-year-olds on the moon bounce. I'm happy to report he and I won. It was the momentum of our weight that took us down that moon bounce slide the fastest. And of course, Mayor Sessoms, as you probably, he and I, the other day, he and I both jumped out of an airplane at 10,000 feet, parachuted into a Wounded Warrior concert. You can only do this, folks, in Virginia. They are not doing it in those other 49 states. And it's a real honor. I mean, this region is on fire. I just left to change of command, where I attended the Marine Service for the Marine Intelligence School at Dam Neck. I mean, we have it all here, and I'll be back next Saturday as we send off the new USS Gerald R. Ford, only in Virginia. Today is in line with that, what we're announcing here today. These two 6-megawatt offshore wind turbines is the beginning of a whole new revolution that's going on in this country. And once again, Virginia will be at the forefront. Over 100,000 acres, which now will be developed for offshore wind, that will take us up to over 2,000 megawatts. These first two are just the beginning. The next step is to develop about 2,000 megawatts. And when you add that to what's happening in Maryland and New York and Massachusetts, the East Coast, we have not been able to do anything. And this is the first utility offshore wind project in the country. But putting together these states and what we're doing here today, what's never been done on the East Coast, is an opportunity for us now to bring this clean power back. And let me tell you something, Francis, as Sean talked about our port, the greatest port in the world. I was here the other day when the Costco development ship came through, the largest ship to ever go through the Panama Canal. Came all the way around. You see the picture of the Panama Canal was only a couple inches on each side. Where did that ship go? It came right here to Virginia, right? And once it came in, and it's 4 football fields long, 17 TEUs wide, they unloaded a lot of the containers off the ship. The ship rose, and then it could go to those dinky ports in New York and Maryland and Charleston once it rose up. But folks, this is an opportunity. And now with the East Coast, with this development now, we are going to have a lot of commerce going back. So, Francis, I want you to tell all of your suppliers to bring all of this. This is the beginning of a revolution here. I want it all here to come to our port in Virginia. Do you hear me? Give Francis a great round of applause for what this means. And Francis, if I ever hear of another turbine, blade, or anything going to another port on the East Coast, I will chase you down. We are the best here. But folks, this is really a big deal for us. You think about, and Mr. Farrell and Kuntz and others have talked about my advocacy. I have been obsessed on this topic. I've been obsessed for the right reason, because these are jobs. These are good paying jobs. When I became governor, we had 17 megawatts of solar installed. Today, 3.5 years later, 1,900. 65% job growth last year just in the solar industry. Our investments went from $300 million to about $1.7 billion in the last 3 years. Counting energy efficiency jobs, you know how many in Virginia in the last 3 years? 77,000. So when we talk about helping these communities that have lost the coal jobs, and coal jobs today in Virginia, less than 2,000. And yet we have 77,000 clean energy jobs. This is the future. And that's why I was at Tidewater Community College the other day to kick off a new solar installation program that they're doing there. We're doing this in community colleges in Southwest and Southside Virginia. This is truly the new Virginia economy, and we need to be at the forefront of that. Recently we announced the Amazon, 240 megawatts to supply their data centers. Largest in the Mid-Atlantic, second largest on the East Coast. Folks, this is all happening here in the Commonwealth of Virginia. This is how you grow. This is how you diversify. Virginia will be the leader on offshore wind. We have led dramatically on solar development, and we got to continue to take it to the next level. The last thing I'll say, it's not only about jobs. I don't have to tell anybody in this room on the issues of sea level rise. As you know, it's occurring. I've been here on days that it's rained. I've seen streets closed down. The mayor and I, we had that horrible flooding when we toured the neighborhood. They hadn't seen that flooding in 200 years. I got a report sitting on my desk today. Conservative estimate. 3-foot rise in sea level, that's a conservative estimate. $87 billion of Virginia property is wiped out. Think of that. So we cannot, as I say, put our heads in the sand. We need to lead. We also have the largest naval base in the world. We need to show the Secretary of Defense and the Secretary of Navy that we here are serious about protecting this vital asset, because at any time it could go to another state on higher ground. We've got to be at the forefront of this. That's why I did Executive Directive number 11 the other day. We are going to do our own carbon reduction, our own jobs plan, market-based jobs plan. That is how you grow, and that is how you take it to the next level. I do want to thank Hayes Fromme. Stand up, Hayes, the Chief Energy Resiliency Officer for the Commonwealth of Virginia. Tom Farrell and I get to make all these big announcements, and we have all these big meetings, but when we walk away, it's actually the people on the ground and all the people actually do the detail, because this is such a complex topic. So, folks, it's an honor to be here today. The beginning of these 2 new 6 megawatts is going to be spectacular, and we're going to get up to 2,000 megawatts. Once again, Virginia is showing the way. This is why you all live in the greatest state and the greatest nation on earth, the Commonwealth of Virginia. Thank you very much.
As a